I two-step with Lucifer, and ever since I started dancing, I walked the fine line between Einstein and Charles Manson. Starved this famine with my stomach growling, like someone shouting 100,000 times louder than thunder pounding.
What's going on, everybody? I have a black and white overused match here. It's kind of long, but it's a pretty good match. I mean, I played like crap at the first part because I don't know, I was just feeling off. But towards the end, I start playing pretty good, and there's quite a bit of hacks in this game, just saying. But yeah, this is a game against Texan989, I believe his name is. And let's get started. So he's going to lead off with his Landorus as I lead off with my Swampert. I know he's going to U-turn or do something here because I know he can't do much to a Swampert. And since I know that, I'm going to be able to set up my rocks first turn as he U-turns out and goes into his Porygon 2. And his Porygon 2 here, I think I predict the Toxic here, and I switch out into my Gengar, right? Yeah, I switch out into my Gengar here, completely dodge the Toxic because it doesn't affect me. Now I get up a free sub, or so I think, and he's able to Thunderbolt me and take out my sub. So now I see that this is a somewhat like defensive Porygon 2. So he's gonna switch out as I go for the I go for the disable here, and I think he predicted that pretty nicely since, as you'll find out later, he's running a sub-disable set on his Gengar. So I switch out, not knowing if he's Scarfed or if he's running max speed, is going to outspeed me or whatever. I don't want to risk it just yet, because Gengar plays a good part against his team. Like, he's pretty weak to it. So I go into Chansey. Sure enough, he goes for a Shadow Ball and doesn't affect me, so he knows I can't do anything to him with Chansey, so he's in a sub as I switch into Gengar, predicting a Focus Blast. But he just goes for a sub, like I just said. So I'm going to switch out into Scizor here, knowing I could take at least a Shadow Ball or two from Gengar, since I do resist it. So has a Shadow Ball, hit me with a Shadow Ball on my switch in, hit me with another one. I'll be at about half health. I'm able to Pursuit him here, take out a sub. And I should have realized that he wasn't too worried because he has the disable, so I am banded. This is a banded Scizor, so I'm obviously not going to be able to do anything. So I'm going to switch out. But he's also going to switch out and go into his Vaporeon. I'm not really sure. Maybe he predicted my Heatran to come in or something like that. But I'm just going to bring in my Swampert. And he already has Toxic on his Porygon 2, so I didn't think another Pokemon on his team would have Toxic, even as common as Toxic is on Vaporeon. But sure enough, he has it, and he goes for Toxic, gets Toxic on my Swampert, and I'm just going to roar him out here. And he's gonna, or his Conkeldurr, whatever you want to call it, is dragged out, and I see the leftovers, so I'm assuming it's either like Sub Punch or Bulk Up, not banded, and he's gonna go for the Bulk Up here as I go for the Roar, just trying to scout his set, see what he wants to do to me. Now I know that he's Bulk Up, that I can save that information for later. So his Vaporeon comes out, or is roared out rather, and I forget what I'm going to do here. I might just... No, I think yeah, okay. He's going to go for the Wish here, and I'm going to go for the Roar, just to roar him out, because I knew he was going to Wish. So his, what I think is Scarfed Landorus is dragged out, and I predict him to U-turn again, and he's going to go into something that he wants to receive the Wish, but I predict that, so I'm going to go for the Roar yet again. And he's going to bring out his Conkeldurr, and I guess he wants Conkeldurr to have the Wish. I don't know, it has like full health anyway, but I roar it out, and it brings in his Landorus again. And he's at about 75% health after the Stealth Rock, those 2 times of Stealth Rock, but he gets full health from the Wish. So Toxic is really hurting me now, and I'm going to have to switch out. I'm going to go into my Scizor here, predicting a U-turn, but he goes for an Earthquake, and just wanting to kill off my Swampert, I guess. And it's going to take out my Scizor, since Scizor is not very bulky. This one isn't. And I swing in my Swampert here, because the Toxic turns reset, and he's in an Earthquake. I'm going to be able to live with my Swampert, go for the Ice Beam, and take it down to like 2 health or something like that. Like, look at that. You could barely even see it. But I get the freeze, which is great. I was pretty pissed that I didn't kill it, even though it's Ice Beam from a Swampert. But I do get the freeze, which is super awesome for me, but really sucks for him. And I know I'm gonna roar here, knowing that whatever he wants to do, it doesn't matter. Like even if he thaws or whatever, because he's gonna die to rocks anyway next time his Landers comes in, and he does not have a spinner, so he sends in his Vaporeon as I roar it out, and his Conkeldurr is withdrawn or dragged out, whatever you want to say, and I go down to Toxic here. So I'm gonna send him my Gengar and do what Gengars do and sub up. He's going to go for the obvious payback, and I predicted that. So I'm going to disable. Next turn here, I'm going to disable. Or no, I'm going to sub again, predicting him to predict me to disable, because last time with the Porygon 2 and my Gengar, he predicted me. And he switches out here, probably predicting me to go for another, or for a disable, but I go for the sub instead. So now I have a free sub up, and about half health as he brings in his Gengar. So he's going to switch out, go into his Porygon 2 to take the obvious Shadow Ball, and I didn't want to over-predict and go for the Focus Blast. Just, you know, I just did the safe play, and it's not going to affect his Porygon 2, obviously, so I'm going to go for the Focus Blast here, and it misses, as he goes for a Thunderbolt to take out my sub. I don't want to spoil it, but there's quite a bit of hacks in this game. Probably about like 8 or 10 instances, something like that. So I'm going to sub. I see Thunderbolts again, because I thought he would predict me to go for the disable, but he doesn't. He's just going to keep spamming his Thunderbolt. So I'm going to go for the disable now. Disable his Thunderbolt as he goes for it again, so he cannot Thunderbolt me anymore. And I believe I'm going to, yeah, okay, he's going to switch out, and he's going to go into his Vaporeon. And I'm going to go into, or I'm going to, do I sub here? Yeah, okay. I'm going to sub. And I think this turn he's either going to go for the Wish. You know, he's going to go for the Scald here. As I go, okay, I'm going to go for the Shadow Ball. It's going to do a decent chunk, considering that is a Vaporeon. And he's going to go for the Scald here and take out my sub. So now I know his sub, or my sub died from the Scald, so I probably can't live. I only have 113 HP, so I probably can't live a Scald from his Vaporeon. So I'm going to switch out and go to Chansey, knowing I can take it easily. But he goes for the Protect, I guess, banking on me, going for a Shadow Ball and trying to take him out. But I was pretty sure I would not be able to take him out, and I didn't want to risk it. So I go for a Toxic here, trying to get his Vaporeon poisoned. But he brings in a Conkeldurr, which is a great play, because now he has Guts boosted. And I thought I was pretty much screwed at this point. I thought the game was over. I thought I was pretty much going to die. I do still have Gengar alive, but okay, so I go for the Protect here as he goes for the Payback. I guess predicting my Gengar to come in. And here, he's going to go, I'm going to go for the Wish. As he goes for a Payback, I guess maybe wanting me to switch out to Gengar still, or he's just going for a Payback rather than Drain Punch. I don't know. Maybe he doesn't carry Drain Punch. I don't know. But he does get a crit on this Payback. Takes me down to red health, really low health, because even though I do have the Eviolite, Chansey has crap defense. He's going to switch out and go into his Vaporeon here, as since I have the Wish still up, I'm going to be able to Protect here, which, well, I wanted to Protect to give the Wish to myself, because I thought he would attack me again, so I'm at a pretty good health now, and his Vaporeon's at about half, so he's going to go for the Wish, as I go for the Seismic Toss, trying to kill this thing off as fast as I can. And it's looking like maybe one more will kill it, but probably not, since Vaporeon has quite a bit of HP, so he's going to Toxic my Chansey here, as I go for the Seismic Toss, just, you know, chancing it, I guess. And, yeah, he's going to live with, like, what is that, like 40 HP or something like that? I can't really tell, but it's red health. And he's going to get up to above half health now from that Wish and leftovers. And I'm pretty much not winning this stall battle here. So he's going to Protect as I go for the Toxic. Good play on his part. And I'm just getting outplayed here. Like, up until this point, or up until about a minute or two from now, I'm just going to get outplayed for quite a bit. So he's going to switch into his Heatran here. And it does have the Air Balloon, so I'm going to go for a Toxic here, just trying to get his Vaporeon poisoned again, and he predicts that yet again, and goes into his Heatran, which it's Steel type, so it can't be poisoned. He's going to set up his Rocks as I set up a Wish here, as Toxic almost takes me out, and he's going to switch out and go back out into his Conkeldurr, and with my Wish up now, I'm going to Protect, trying to give the Wish to myself again. So I'm going to get up to a little above, just above half health. After Toxic, I'll be just under half health, as Toxic is racking up now. And I believe I go for a Wish here and just fodder out my Chansey because I don't really need it that much. Yeah, okay. So I go for a Wish here, and he's going to payback, take out my Chansey. And I wanted my, I think it was my Gengar, which is about half or a little less than half health, to receive the Wish, because Gengar is probably my best bet against taking out his team. So I'm going to send him my Gengar here, and it's at 81 health after Stealth Rocks, and I'm going to disable him, disable his payback, so he, unless he's carrying the Stone Edge, which most bulk up variants do not, he's pretty much screwed against my Gengar. So I get the Wish, I get to full health now, and sure enough, after Toxic's taking its toll on him, which is actually kind of decent. Like, if I would have paralyzed the Conkeldurr, I would have lost, because it's slow as shit anyway, and it would just give it a Guts boost for no reason. So yeah, I'm going to sub, predicting his switch, and he's going to go into Porygon 2, I guess predicting my Shadow Ball maybe, or it stands a better chance. But look at that, I go for the Focus Blast, and what do you know, I miss for the second time. He's going to go for a Thunderbolt and take out my sub yet again. And I feel pretty confident that I can live Thunderbolt from it, since I do think it's a defensive or wall kind of Porygon 2. And I hit it with a Focus Blast finally, and it does a decent chunk. Like, it's going to be a 2-hit KO now at this point. He hits me with a Thunderbolt, and that's going to do not much damage, considering I'm a Gengar and I have no defense at all. Or special defense, rather. And I actually hit my next Focus Blast, and I'm able to take him out, which is pretty good, because that was the only thing standing in my way from sweeping the rest of his team. And that's pretty much what I'm going to do. So he sends in his Gengar. I don't know if it was max speed or not. I know I do run max speed on my Gengar, so I take it out with a Shadow Ball. I guess I got lucky there. I'm not sure. But I do get lucky here. He sends in Vaporeon. I go for the Shadow Ball, hoping I could live a Scald, but I get a crit and take it out. So Gengar's doing work here. And he's going to send in his Heatran, as I'm going to go for a Focus Blast, and what do you know, it's going to hit, and it's going to take it out, even though I believe it's a specially defensive variant. I'm not sure. No, it's Air Balloon, so it's probably just standard set, I guess. So yeah, I'm going to take out his Heatran, and I think he only has 1 or 2 more Pokemon. Oh yeah, he has his Frozen Scarfed Landorus, which will die as soon as it comes into his to my Stealth Rocks. And I think his last Pokemon is this Conkeldurr here, and I'm going to outspeed it and finish it off with a Shadow Ball, since it's at a little less than half. I do get a crit there, but I'm pretty sure that didn't matter. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So I got a 5-man sweep there, which is Gengar, which is pretty good. And yeah, I guess I'll see you guys later. Hope you enjoyed, and bye.